Summer is finally here in Europe, and as you head off on vacation, Nintendo have treated us to a massive sale with over 140, yes, 140 Switch titles with a cut price to tempt you into loading up your Switch to the gills. Very often, the best sales to be found are on the US eShop, but this time around, we have an EU exclusive sale. Remember, as the Switch is region free, you can pick up titles from any eShop. Now let's jump in and take a look at 20 of the best deals to be had. Kicking things off, if value is what you're looking for, then GOETIA is the one for you. With a whopping 90% off on this point and click adventure, you can pick this up for less than £1. It's slow and frustrating at points, but it's still a decent title nonetheless.
Something else dwells here with me.
The Just Dance series from Ubisoft is best enjoyed when you have family and friends over. It's a simple game, and each year they stick in some new tracks and very few new features, which makes it hard to justify the cost. With that said, at these prices it's a different story. Aside from messing around with others, it's not the worst way to do a workout if you are looking for something less grueling than a proper workout video to follow. Watch out for the tracks locked behind Ubisoft's Just Dance Unlimited service, which I no doubt hope you'll purchase once you are hooked. I was very impressed with this year's version of FIFA. It's the annual churn from EA Sports. Yes, it doesn't match other consoles, but the fact that it's a fully fledged FIFA experience with multiplayer, online and Ultimate Team makes this still a great game. With a new title out in a few months that will of course be expensive, it might be a good time to pick up this version if you're not fussed about having the latest title. Having come out in May of this year, Konami have ported all of these wonderful classics 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as the Castlevania The Adventure, Castlevania 2 Belmont's Revenge, Castlevania Bloodlines, Kid Dracula, which has never been released in English before, and History of Castlevania Book of the Crescent Moon. We have been waiting for a new Castlevania title forever, with Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which we recently reviewed, being the closest thing to scratching that itch. In the meantime, why not play the originals themselves? This unique title from Nintendo themselves is still one of the most fun games you can play on the Switch, or in fact on any console. As an innovative series that takes the killing out of multiplayer combat, it's one that adults and younger players can also enjoy equally.
Brave souls, each with a unique talent.
This gem from Square Enix is one of the best original RPGs on the Switch. It's a love letter to JRPGs of old, whilst at the same time has some innovative gameplay elements such as the ability to play each character's tale as and when you choose. It's a fantastic title, and with 33% off, definitely one worth considering.
When that blade fails to save my sworn leader.
When I reviewed this title, I found it a refreshing blast. A zombie apocalypse has devastated the US and you decide to make a run to Canada in order to escape. This is a simple randomised adventure that will put you into some hilarious moments, and the simplicity hides a deep game with lots of mechanics. It's a bit rough around the edges, but an excellent take on the survival genre nonetheless. Owlboy is a charming little indie adventure that centres around Otis, a mute owl, and our protagonist. The flying mechanics are interesting, and the game shows off some excellent pixel art and a lovely soundtrack. It's not the hardest game, but a good experience. When it came out, we thought it was a bit on the expensive side. With that out of the way, it's one to consider. For 3 titles, the cost is solid for fans of this ever-popular anime series. Juan really enjoyed his time with it when it first came out and was impressed that each title was well worth playing. It's great fun and an excellent port with an unsurprisingly great story, lovely visuals and more. This is a throwback to the 90s, modelled on games like Top Gear with very simple, fast-paced controls and a turbo boost when you need it. What we loved about this one was how it took us back to our childhood, the pumping tunes, bright visuals and crazy speed. What we have here is a fresh look of updated graphics that look great on top of an iconic game. The result is a trip down memory lane. For some, at full price, it's a tall ask, but on sale, why not?
Unique environment. Luxury.
Little Nightmares is a real treat of a game. It's scary, creepy, and somehow, without any dialogue, manages to get you invested in the main character, Six the Kid. In a genre that is lacking on the Switch, this is definitely one of the better titles out there.
Experimental cuisine. And who could forget the heart of
If you take Dark Souls and strip away everything but the boss battles and throw in some Metal Gear Solid, you are left with something resembling FURI. For a boss battler, this one is surprisingly deep, complete with an interesting tale and adrenaline-fueled mayhem. Fantastic title set in a steampunk setting, this time in the form of a Metroidvania. It oozes bags of character and has some brilliant gameplay backed up by a great soundtrack. All in all, a very good deal at 50% off.
Careful, little eyes, what you see. There's a father up.
Both of the Outlast titles are fantastic ports of excellent horror titles. Outlast uses darkness to hide things in the dark, leaving you with a pathetic small screen from a camcorder with night vision to look through. The first title takes place inside an asylum, whereas the second is set in a bigger, more open setting. Full of mysticism, the occult and creepy ghoulish enemies. If you are after a fright, then look no further.
Little hands, what you do.
Another hit from Image and Form, SteamWorld HEIST is a brilliant turn-based adventure. What makes it stand out are its deep character mechanics and development, along with its aiming system that makes everything feel that little bit more active. If you love a turn-based strategy game, then this is for you. If you're a fan of the South Park series, then this game is like playing one long and hilarious episode made by the creators themselves. What is surprising is the fact that it's actually a decent JRPG as well. At 75% off, it's a real bargain for this little gem. Yes, it's an old game, but somehow this one still keeps you engaged. The original dungeon crawler, revamped and on the move, is a beautiful thing. Blizzard are the masters of addictive games, and putting your money here will inevitably lead to many hours trying to complete that one last run. Dragon Ball FighterZ is simply stunning. It brings the much loved anime series to life in all of its glory. The port is excellent, and with online and local co-op modes, you will no doubt want to bash the competition to pieces in this arcade fighter. Whether you're a fan of the series or not, this one's worth looking at. Rounding things off, and Capcom have discounted all of their Switch Resident Evil titles. Each a classic in its own right, from the remake to the first action title in Resident Evil 4. If you haven't picked any of these up, then it's definitely worth a look. And that's it from me today. Some fantastic titles here and many more on sale. The sale lasts until July the 25th, so there's a bit of time. If you can only purchase one, what will it be? Let me know down below. I'm James Romero and this is SwitchWatch. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.